Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to another episode on Beamng. Today, I'm just going to show you guys a quick video on how to set up 4-link rear ends for radial drag cars. Here we've got a 4th gen Camaro, Catfish, if you will. It's a nitrous small block deal, makes about 1700 horse, and we're on a 275/60/15 drag radial. So we're going to pull into the lanes here, and basically with a radial setup, you want the rear end to basically punch the ground or try to push into the ground, and therefore it'll lift the body up. If you can see my cursor right here, you'll see this, the lip of the quarter panel, you'll see this lift up, and that means it's pushing the rear end down onto the track surface. It's the opposite of what a normal slick tire wants. A slick tire wants the body to drop onto the tire and fold onto the tire, or fold onto the ground. A radial wants to press into the ground and propel itself forward. So I'm going to do a little run right here, and then we can look at a replay and I can explain in further detail. So replay here. Let's see. Get up on the brake here, and boom, right down Broadway. Okay, that was a good little run. 453, not bad. Okay, let's see. Stop recording. All right, so let's watch right here. We're gonna bump. We're gonna bump in, and then when we let off the trans brake, you're gonna see this separate. See how the body is lifted up and it's pushed that tire into the ground? That's what a radial tire wants. And see how the back end of the car is raked up like this? That's what we want right there. We'll finish it out here, and then see how the body drops back? So we've got, full separation, pressed in, that tire's pressed in, and then as soon as we let off the gas, watch right here. Boom, right there. That's what we want. And it's possible to do in Beamng. So here we go. Here are my settings. Of course, everything's different for every car, but for this particular car, I've got these settings right here. So this, your top bar height, for at least for this car, is your most. This is how you determine if the car is going to squat or if it's going to anti-squat like this car does. So you have this value here, -3. That means the top bar is -3 degrees down, facing downward. So imagine there's a line running here and a line running here. This is your bottom, top bars respectively. So on this setup, I have -3 degrees down. So the top bar, this is exaggerated by the way, but the top bar is facing down this way. And then your bottom bar is 3 degrees up this way. So you've got your bars kind of facing here and here. And when that tire rotates, you see how it kicks the back end of the body up and pushes the tire down. That's what you want. Now, if you want to do like a slick tire setup and you want the car to squat down, you would move these bars up. So I'm going to put it at +4, and I'm going to drop the bottom ones. I'm going to make them flat. So now on this setup, it's not optimal for a radial, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So now this top bar is facing up this way, and your bottom bar is facing, it's flat. So And I'll explain what these do in a second, but let's see what this does. I haven't actually tried this on a radial car, having like a slick setup rear, but let's see. Pull into the lanes, up on the brake. Oh, hold on. Forgot the most important part, replay. So here, and go. So already off the bat, it's similar times, really. I mean, well, similar, but it's just different on how a car reacts. So watch this. Watch right here. See how it's not separating, it's just staying still. Of course, on a slick tire, it's going to be a little bit softer and everything's going to compress, and you change your suspension setup all around to make it actually work. But for all intents and purposes, I don't even what's the right way to say that, by the way. But here we go. Locked in, about to go, and just watch right here. Really nothing happens. It just kind of stays still. So anyways, so your next adjustments you can make is your bar length. So there's a point here, somewhere here on the chassis and the center line of your axle. So you've got, like, recap, you've got your top bar and your bottom bar, and they run somewhere between the middle of the axle, so right here in the middle of the wheel, to somewhere here in the chassis is where your four-link, we can get up in here. Yeah, here we go. So you've got your bracket somewhere in here, and there's another one somewhere in there. And your links determine how fast all this action works. So your top bar length determines how fast the car's either going to sit down or stand up. And then your bottom bar determines how fast the body's going to come back down after it's squatting or anti-squatting, or how fast the car is going to come back up from a squat. Catch my drift? But so let's drop it back to how it was, -3. -3 and 3. I don't care if you use my settings or not. I'm not one of those kind of people. So there's normal. And we'll get a quick little run in, just a quick hit. Just trying to make a quick video here. But so you see how it's kind of lazy. Let's hit it again. We'll do a little replay. Quick. Here, replay. Here, and boom. See how fast or slow that bar, or how much the axle's separating, like how fast it's going. Let's watch it again in real time. That way you can understand. But it's kind of lazy getting up on the separation right there. Let's shorten these bars up a little bit, the top bars, and see what changes. So we'll drop it down to 7, almost half of what it was. And see already here, just a slight tap of the throttle, it's already wanting to pick up the rear. So let's hit up on the brake, record, and boom. You see how fast it's wanting to pick up that rear wheel? So, I mean, as soon as you hit the gas, it's wanting to drop that axle into the ground and pick up the front end. So that's your difference on your top bar. I mean, it's boom, like almost immediately it's at full separation. So you can use that to your advantage to determine how aggressive you want your suspension to act. But that's essentially it as far as 4-link go. Yeah. So have fun with this new knowledge and see what you can run.